So we're here with Australian cricket legend Steve Waugh in sunny London. Could you tell us a little bit why we're here?
Well, it's great, man. I'm here with the Laureus Sport for Good Foundation. We've got a project here, the ACN project in London. So it basically encourages people to get back and give back to their community via mentoring and coaching. And we've got a group of coaches here doing some fantastic work with the kids. They're really excited about the opportunity today, and there's some real good skill here as well amongst them.
Am I right in thinking you're touring around the world looking at different coaches through the Sport for Good Foundation?
Not me personally, but there's well over 140 projects around the world, Laureus Sport for Good Foundation projects in 34 countries. They all do different things. Coaching is a big part of it, and it's really important that you get good coaches to give kids opportunities. So that's certainly something that the projects do.
Moving on to Australia, they're currently ranked world #1 in both Test and ODI cricket. Are you surprised by the quickness and turnaround? Obviously there's a bit of a transition period, but they've come through really well.
Yeah, we had a lot of talent. I'm not sure how the rankings work. You ask Michael Clarke, he'd probably say he doesn't feel as if they're quite #1 yet. They're close to it. I think another 6-12 months of consistency, they could say they're definitely the best team in the world. Right now there's a couple of teams that are pretty close, but they've done amazing things over the past 12 months, and they've obviously beat England convincingly, and beat South Africa away from home, which was a huge result. So they've certainly improved quickly, and I'm not totally surprised. There's a lot of talent there. They just had to come together as a side, which they have.
You mentioned Michael Clarke. There's a lot of talk in England about Alistair Cook's captaincy, but Michael Clarke's received nothing but praise. Is he the best out there in the world at the moment?
That's the thing about captaincy. When you're winning, everyone thinks you're the best captain in the world. When you're losing, you're the worst captain ever. So it's never quite as severe as that either way. Clarke is a very good captain. I think Cook has his moments. He's still learning as a captain. You can't expect him to be, to do everything perfectly straight away. And sometimes you get momentum. There's commentators are very negative, and then all of a sudden everyone's the same, and pressure mounts and mounts. So he's just got to get away from that all and trust his own gut instincts, intuition, and hopefully he'll pull through. If he doesn't, then I guess it's up to him to make a decision.
We've got the Cricket World Cup coming up next year. If Australia win that, would you say they were up there with the best sides in Australian history?
It's always hard to judge comparative eras. Look, but you can only if you're successful. I mean, you put yourselves up there with those other teams. It's really hard to compare whether they're better than the side 10 years ago or 20 years ago. But all I can say is that they're the best of their own era or their own period of time. So at the moment, they're building on that. They've been good for 6 to 12 months, but to be a great side, they're really got to be good for 5 to 10 years.
They haven't played a lot of Test cricket at the moment. Is that something that you're worried about? I know the ICC Cricket World Cup's coming up, so they want to play ODIs, but they've just got 2 Tests against Pakistan, and they play South Africa in a one-day series. Is that disappointing not to see a Test series in there?
No, look, they've got continuous cricket for the next 12, 18 months. I talked to Michael Clarke 2 weeks ago, and he said basically they're on the road for the next 15 months, so there's more than enough cricket coming up. But obviously World Cup cricket with 1 day means there's more of a focus on shorter form of the game in the initial period, but they've got plenty of cricket coming up.
And just finally, Steve, Ryan Harris and Mitchell Johnson have both performed really well in Test cricket over the last year or so. Are you impressed and surprised to see him bowling really well?
Look, surprised a little bit with Johnson's consistency. He always had the pace and wicket-taking ability, but his accuracy has been incredible over the last 18 months, and consistently bowling 150 k's now. If you've got someone like that, you're going to win a lot of games. You're going to intimidate opposition, particularly from 7 down to a #11 batsman, and that gives you a huge advantage. And Harris is a fantastic bowler.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks very much for your time.